Good day, everyone. Welcome to Innovation Alley podcast / radio. We have Chris Johnson and Mike Legary here, bringing you through Ramp Up Weekend 8. We're actually hosting live from the U of M Smart Park Event Cube, and we have literally just over probably about 75 folks involved here, 60 competing for top startup. From we're talking, there's dollars on the line here. Investors coming out to see the pitches Sunday night, and it's all about starting a business in an extremely short period of time. Now, we have Chris Johnson here live with us, who was the founder of Ramp Up Manitoba and really got these kinds of events started in Manitoba. So, Chris, talk about what this kind of weekend is all about and what should people expect from the event.
Yeah, you know what? This is a really cool experience for anybody involved. I've gone through it myself. It's effectively 55-ish hours between a Friday at 6 p.m. and a Sunday at 6 p.m. of business-making mayhem, if I may. And it's we have teams show up on Friday night. We have individuals show up, and you can have up to 40, 50 ideas pitched, so people show up with or without an idea.
So no clue involved, no work involved, I can just show up.
Absolutely. I mean, it is, well, as you know from having attended past, and I've attended past events, it's, you have to show up with something. It better be either an idea or some talent or some capacity to just jump in and hustle. And that usually falls under one of three categories. You'll hear hipster, hacker, hustler, i.e., in certain software apps, that might be like a developer to build the thing, an entrepreneur to go out and sell it and build the business case, and a designer who will sort of build the brand strategy and creatively think in that. And I guess the long story short is it's really hard to do anything by yourself. / no fun.
Yeah, so you're getting that team, that capability around you to get this thing launched.
Yeah, well, I mean, you know from a number of businesses you're in, it's more fun. You get further faster when you have a good team around you. And
you get to do less work too.
Yeah, well, right. So there you go. So people show up Friday and they just pitch ideas, and then what happens? We put them all up on the wall. People get little stickies. They go and they vote for their top 3 or 4 ideas, and it's really interesting. You start to see very quickly out of 40 ideas, the top 10, let's say, that get everybody sort of generically votes for. Then the fun starts. They go around and they start recruiting people to join their team. And we typically have, I think 10's a fair average to say 10 people, right, who will join a team, or 10 teams will form. And then they start from Friday night, from that moment, call it 8 o'clock Friday night, all the way through the weekend. They're doing nothing but working on the idea. Is this something that's a big enough pain? Are there enough people suffering it? Will they buy it? If they will, how much will they pay us for it? Can we build a case that makes this something investable, or something that makes us want to start this business Monday for real?
That's a lot of questions. Now, I noticed that we have all these mentors who are going around asking those hard questions. So who are these mentors that we have out here getting that shape?
Yeah, you're right. You know what? If you're a rookie, even if you're a veteran, there's a lot of questions to answer when you go through an experience like this. I mean, it's effectively idea to business in 55 hours. So we just went through a slew of them. We bring in mentors from everywhere. So we have legal professional people. We have people who built Internet of Things, technology startups. We have developers.
Bankers.
We even let the bankers
in.
It. No, they're an important part of the business for sure. And specifically for this event, we have longtime partners like Royal Bank, Innovate Manitoba, MTS, which is a big telco here in Manitoba, Futurepreneur, which is a funding organization. So I could go on, World Trade Center, Winnipeg. And long story short is we bring all of these people in, and they have a chance to go around and float around to all of the teams. And that's what we've done for the last 7. This is Ramp Up 8. And once you've done something 7 times, it's time to maybe shake a little. Yeah, so we shook it up a little bit this time. And when I say we, I mean the 15 to 20 person volunteer organizing crew who put this together. So we'll talk about the volunteering thing in a second. But what's really fun is we added alumni team captains this time. So we've got 7 weekends of experienced entrepreneurs who have been through this, and some of which have built viable, large, and scaling companies out of this experience. So we're not just doing this for fun, although it is a whole bunch of fun, and some people just take away the learnings. There's actual businesses here. So each team now has an alumni team captain assigned to it to help answer all those questions and even help them know which questions to answer, which is half the battle.
And that's been actually a really neat mix to see here is that you have folks who've gone through this time after time after time, and the quality of questions we've been seeing asked today, and as we get into some of the interviews, are really neat. We also have some tier one talent bringing tier one things, investable things, right to the event this time. So when we look at that outcome, so Sunday night we have all these teams. They've figured out their ideas. They've gotten the mentorship. They've qualified all this. What is the pitch all about on Sunday? Is it about winning the contest? Is it about building a business? Why should I care?
Well, that's a loaded question. I mean, I think that the answer is the belt.
Excellent.
We have an awesome young guy named Matt Olson and Jesse Marr, two awesome young guys who actually went to our prototyping space here called AssentWorks in Winnipeg, and they built like our WWF or WWE, whatever it is the kids watch these days, style belt for the winner. And honestly, that's the thing everybody wants to wear at the end of the weekend. The over $10,000 to $15,000 of cash and services that we have up for the winners doesn't hurt.
Absolutely.
But you know what the big thing out of this is the credibility and the visibility boost you get being the winner. Because it just helps. Like you win Ramp Up Weekend, well, you know, you get maybe a little spread in the newspaper, and maybe you get picked up on a couple TV stations in the evening news, and then all of a sudden you go to have that next conversation, and all of you're a thing.
Yeah.
Out of nowhere.
That's a really good point. I think also the confidence. Like, you know, I'll say, like, some of the folks that I've seen here from Ramp Up 1 versus now,
yeah, totally.
The amount of confidence these entrepreneurs is amazing, and the quality of what they're creating is amazing. You know, they're doing 8,000 other things, making money on the side, and they're still showing up. Yeah. So there's something really special about this, because like you mentioned the volunteers. So the volunteers, when I look around the room, it seems to be mostly past participants. So talk about the community. Why is this working?
Yeah, well, you know what? It's because I think that people are starting to understand, and it's an easy concept, is just learn, go through this experience. It's impossible not to turn around and give back. Like, it really is. Like, the fire that's lit in you this weekend, learning and seeing how much further, how much faster you get personally from all of these other people helping you, I defy you not to turn around and want to pass that gift on to the next guy. And now going into Ramp Up Weekend 8, which is where we are here this weekend, it is cool to see, because we have a dozen of those alumni team captains, and I'm telling you, we could have had 30 if we needed them. So no, the volunteering is really cool. And the other thing is, there's a special feel here because it's not some corporate run event. I mean, we're literally like yesterday, right? Volunteers are running to Costco, filling up 3 enormous, those big flat carriers full of stuff, juice boxes and chocolate bars. And we're doing that so we can get the food budget down to like $1,500 or whatever, right? So that we sell some sponsorship, we have ticket revenues, awesome. Every dollar we can goes into the community, the volunteer not-for-profit community, to help us do other things to advance the great startups that come out of events like this, and the others that are already in the ecosystem. So
it's really, it's just team players then across the board, be it corporate sponsors, the volunteer organizations, the entrepreneur organizations, you name it. Excellent. So we've done some interviews. We're going to have some more interviews that are coming up here. Hopefully, sort of crack them out one by one online to listen for the viewers here. Now, come Sunday night, what do we expect from these teams? How many teams do we have that are going to be pitching? Do we know that now? And what are you expecting for quality?
Well, you know what? It's going to be interesting. The teams will assemble on Friday night. We'll get a sense out of that. Like I said, it's typically around 10 teams that'll form. But inevitably, it could be a dozen that form. And then you have 1 or 2 that explode Friday night because they realize really quickly, Google search, oh, yeah, this has been done. Oh, you can't do it, it's illegal, or whatever it is. So it's an organic process. You never know. You start with 12, sometimes you end up with 6. You start with 12, sometimes you end up with 12 or 14 because people will branch off. So it's a really cool process. Who knows what we'll see, but I'll tell you one thing. We're going to have somewhere in the neighborhood of 60 entrepreneurs in this city who are going to be elevated and skilled up over the next 3 days. And I think that for some of the newcomers, which I know about 3/4 of this attendance, it's their first time, I think they're going to be, they won't be able to help but be inspired by how much they're going to get done in the next 55 hours.
Well, we're looking forward to it, and like I say, anything, we'll start popping these online and see what the results are Sunday evening.
Should be fun to hear the stories.
Perfect.